Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Shrimp Nation. Welcome back to the Shrimp Fried Rice podcast. I hope you all are doing well. Another week and another week unemployed. I fully expected to have a job. Maybe it's just my confidence with my resume and my past experience, or maybe it's just because I've been applying to jobs for the past 8 months and haven't gotten anything yet. I thought, hey, maybe this was my week. And yes, I did go on an interview. No, it did not work out. And the thing is, I had an impressive resume according to her. But let me adjust my mic. But they wanted part-time, they wanted 2 part-time people. Even though they had the listing for a full-time person, I think the other employees who worked there just didn't want me to show them up or something. So we're back at it again, me and you. I hope you all are doing well. And before I start my podcast, I just wanted to start off on a serious note. My podcast is for the girls, gays, and theys. If you are a man, you need to leave. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, now that everybody that doesn't need to be here is gone, if you are a man and you stayed, congratulations, you passed the test. But if you actually fail the next test, we're going to have to sacrifice you at the stake. I'm sorry. Please respect my boundaries. Please respect the rules I have in place. They're on my Twitch, but also I basically said them in my last podcast. I don't want to feel uncomfortable in my podcasts on the internet as much as possible and as much as I can control. And I don't appreciate when people overly sexualize myself. And I feel like I want to be comfortable in my own space that I'm creating. So if I want to wear a tank top and I show some cleavage, I don't think that my first comment on my podcast should be, I'm here for the OnlyFans link. Bro, get the fuck out of here. No one wants you here. And no, I don't have an OnlyFans. And no, I'm not going to make an OnlyFans. No shade to anybody who has one. That's just not what I'm going to do. So, before we talk about something serious, let me show you guys some of my talents I have. I know last time I said I didn't have some talents. So, hold on. Hold on, let me cook. All right. Just wait. Have some patience. Hold on. Okay. Wait for it. Oh yeah. Get a load of this action. All right. It's not what ADHD does for you, it's what ADHD can do for you, okay? How do I put that on a job resume? Anyways, we're gonna continue off our next episode of podcast number 2. And we're gonna dive some more deep history on shrimp lore, and I'm also going to address my thoughts and feelings on my body issues, I feel like, as well as how I dress the way I dress and why I dress the way I dress. So where should I start? I think the OnlyFans comment that was made will bring up a good comment, so thank you, but also go fuck yourself. I have Pumpkin right next to me. I did not put my desk up this time because I was like, hey, I don't need to have a keyboard and mouse here anyways. It's not like I'm really gaming right now, but Pumpkin's a little bit confused, so she's kind of just like, hey. And I know what some of you are thinking, bro, you are using the same sheets as last time. Get a load of this guy. It's only been a couple days since my last episode. Couldn't resist to continue the conversation, and that is because my ADHD, hey, the thoughts never stop, and I've been writing down a bunch of ideas. So I may pull out my phone for reference, because sometimes these ideas just are word vomits that go back and forth in my head, and I just need to write them down to get it out, because the voices, like, I'll just have like all these ideas going back and forth, and you should do this and this and this and this, and then Pink Pony Club, I wanna keep on dancing. That's in the background, like in the lowest volume. The other one is the new one, the subway She's got away. Yeah, I can't sing. Hey, never said I was good at singing. That's not my talent. You know what? Actually, the only time I think I'm actually a good singer is when I'm sick. My voice gets a little bit deeper, gets a little raspy, and I'm just like, yeah, this sounds good. Maybe it's because my ears are plugged from the fluid that I get when I get sick. But yeah, that's just maybe my delusional thoughts. Anyways, I do apologize. I brought the fidget spinners for myself. You will be hearing it more than likely because my mic might pick it up. Let me actually do a mic check because last time my mic was good, but I have this ongoing issue with my sound that my default system changes out my mic, which has already done. I don't know why. I literally have my mic in on Elgato Wave 3 as my default device, and yet every fucking day it changes over, and this is why it makes my audio sound like shite. And it changes the volume. It should be at 100% because I was a little bit low and it was at 67%. So if you hear the sound change, no, it worked. But I'm sorry if it sounded bad. The past few minutes I've been talking already. Okay. Did the sound check. We're good. Also, shout out again to Chad Music. I don't know, it's his music. He says I can use it in Twitch streams. My Twitch streams get uploaded to YouTube VODs. But, like, out of respect for his music, if this does get monetized, I don't want to, keep using it. I have not figured out a YouTube intro yet. I also do want you to spin this for my ADHD to focus, so sorry. I was saying that before. But, yeah, check out his Twitch, check out his SoundCloud and Spotify. He is a great artist. Okay, so let's get into the deep stuff. I know this is more about like me and my visual diary, but I feel like this also brings up good conversations and a lot of things that's wrong with America or even dating in general and stuff like that. How the internet is and how people are sorry, my posture's bad. How people are just relentless and cruel. I don't know. I want this to be lighthearted and funny, but like I said, this is also just going to be some real shit that I usually don't go that deep into my Twitch because I want it to be more of a happy place. Anyways, so comments I don't appreciate. My body has always been overly sexualized. I went through puberty when I was very young, I'd say, and probably the first in all my classes. I literally got bullied for it. Not only was I hairy from being Italian, so I had some really hairy arms, had a mustache and a unibrow that was extra thick, had hairy legs, got bullied for having hairy legs before the men, or they weren't even men, they were other boys, but hey, I was hairier than all the guys and all the girls combined, I think, but also that later leads to my PCOS diagnosis, which I have yet to talk about. So, I got bullied for it. I got bullied from the girls and the guys. First of all, I have a fat ass. Yes, I am aware. No, I don't really flaunt it that much because a lot of people have made me feel uncomfortable with my body. When I was in Florida, I got made fun of for having a fat ass. They literally called me, "Hey, fat ass." I can laugh about it now. Back then, it really hurt me. I didn't know there was anything wrong with my body until people started bullying me, probably in 3rd grade. And it's just like, why is everybody skinny and why am I not skinny? And it's because I ate good. Hey, I'm Italian. It's just in my genes. And now we go to 2025 where everybody's paying to have my body. And I'm just like, I don't know if you guys seen that guy. Fuck, I forgot his name. He's an Avenger. And then he's like dancing. That's me. I'm not trying to show off either. It's just it's something that kind of makes me feel better about the situation. So yeah, I've always struggled with self-image and because other people made me feel that way. But now that I've done a lot of healing, I don't want to feel that way when people make me feel bad. Because I went through puberty so fast, I was overly sexualized by other people that were my peers and also adults, which made me feel really bad about myself because number one, I had a problem making friends with girls because they were mad that all the guys had eyes for me in, let's say, middle school. And I always was one of the boys because I was very tomboyish, always like hung out doing sports. I was never really into like girly things. And all the girls were mad that I'd always make friends with guys. They didn't know how to talk to guys. It was like an ongoing thing. Besides that, I did have a fine line of guys wanted to be my friends because I was one of the boys versus the fine line of guys wanted to be friends with me because they had ulterior motives. It was truly a struggle. It's not like I really showed my body much either. In Florida, I always wore a hoodie and a bun. And I went from loving doing my hair and makeup, thinking I looking cute in middle school, to I'm never wearing makeup again. I'm not doing my hair. I'm not trying because of so much bullying. Because every time I wore a dress, people would make fun of me because I'm a tomboy. Every time I would do like a tomboyish like mix of wearing makeup and like basketball shorts, I'd get made fun of because they thought I looked silly. It was just like I would wear hoodies and not do my hair because like I just felt uncomfortable with how people made me feel, and I just wanted to cover up as every single inch of my skin that was showing because I was constantly being sexually harassed and assaulted physically, and people made games out of it in middle school and high school, like slap ass Fridays or Thursdays, whatever the fuck day of the week it was. Guys would just go around sexually assaulting women, like smacking their asses unprovoked. Anyways, not to deep dive on trauma like completely, but it's just not okay, and it does need to be talked about, and I've never really opened up about this. And I feel like now that I'm trying to heal my middle school self, I feel like maybe it is time to talk about it because it's still going on in my life. I always tried to cover up, and my parents always tried to protect me, very conservative, very protective, overprotective, I'd say. And I never got to wear anything that made me feel pretty or made me feel good or made me feel cool in hot weather. It was so rare, and if I did, I did it in spaces I felt most comfortable. And a lot of my time online, yes, I wear tank tops, yes, I would wear sports bras, bralettes, whatever, because I want to feel pretty. I want to feel comfortable. Like, I don't feel like wearing a shirt most of the time. Maybe that's just because of the autism, but I also hate having bahungas that are like this huge and like hurting my back, and I don't want them here, and yet people are always fucking looking at them. Sorry. I wish I could fucking cut them off. If I could do like top surgery, just remove them completely, get my chest tatted, I would. But I think that would cause my brain to have also a meltdown because, hey, I don't know if I could mentally handle what I would look like afterwards. But at the same time, would that make people stop sexualizing me? No, I don't think so. I got a fat ass. Besides the fact, I think these guys or even some girls that do it don't stop, and it doesn't matter what part of your body it is, they'll still do it. Here's Pumpkin again. Anyways, I'll leave you guys with this few things. If I'm wearing a tank top and I feel comfortable, it's because I want to, not for anybody else but myself. If you guys take it in any other way, I actually don't care. I never got to wear this stuff growing up because I didn't want to feel sexualized. I don't want to feel sexualized now either, but I want to feel pretty. And if this is what makes me feel pretty, I shouldn't have to be made feeling bad. Just because I have big boobs doesn't mean I don't get to wear a tank top because the girl with like A's gets to wear a tank top and she looks cute and nobody's sexualizing her. Now, is that a problem because like what people like size-wise? I don't know. But I still think like girls who wear that are very beautiful and their size, and I wish I was them because maybe I would get it less. Maybe I would still get it. Who knows? But I just feel like I'm tired of being labeled as a slut or a whore or assume that I'm doing OnlyFans content because of it. As a 27-year-old woman that's single, has no kids, I think I should wear whatever the fuck I want without having to feel like I'm a fucking harlot. Okay? And I'm going to. So me wearing a t-shirt today is not a coincidence because of what that guy said last time. Actually, this is a cool shirt. And I wanted to show it to you guys. And I've been waiting to do it when I played Cyberpunk on stream. But I played Cyberpunk on stream the other day and I forgot to wear it because of my ADHD. And I saw it in my closet today and I was like, I gotta wear it. I gotta show you guys. I found this, I went to TwitchCon. So I feel like I should talk about that next episode. But I went to TwitchCon and right across the street from TwitchCon, they had a mall and went there afterwards and they have TJ Maxx, but it's like TK Maxx or whatever they call it in Europe. And they had a bunch of cool brands, stuff I never even heard of, but I was like, hey, cheap clothes, that's where I'm at. And I thought this was very much cyberpunk vibe. So it's a little cat and he's a little robot. And I'm going to hit you guys with the BRB screen. I want to flip the shirt around just so you guys can see it. So just hold on, bear with me. You guys can still hear me, so it's okay. Hold on, let me cook. I just hope my deodorant doesn't like rub off on the black part because that would suck. All right, 1 second, guys. All right, back around. Okay, look at it. I can't really. Hold on. Isn't this fucking guy cool? That's so cyberpunk, bro. I have no idea what brand this is, but it's so cool to me. I don't know. Hold on, let me flip it back around. Sorry. I just had to show you guys. Like, how am I supposed to show you guys the back? I'm not gonna turn around. I'm not gonna know if you guys can see it. And then what if I show you guys? Hey, what if I show you guys the back of my head and my hair is crooked? What if you guys see the back of my head and the line isn't straight? My mirror broke not too long ago when I was like re-dyeing my hair, which I still have yet to do. I want to do, but I don't have the time, maybe in like a couple of weeks. My mirror broke after having it for like over 10 years because something fell on it. And I was like so sad because I can't see the back of my head now. So the back of my head's none of your business. All right? Anyways, back to, I'm gonna wear whatever the fuck I want. No one's gonna stop me. And that goes the same thing with my cosplays. I feel like my cosplays, if I want to do something a little more sexy, hey, I'm going to. If I don't want to, I'm not going to. That's why I keep being bald, because I fucking love being bald. It's funny. And it's just like, I don't know, cosplaying as a man is so freeing sometimes that I think it also is just kind of funny to see like the straights get like so mad about it. Like, I've had so many people in my chat just be like, oh, but you're a girl. Yes, and like, yeah, I'm gonna be fucking Pitbull. Yes, I'm gonna be Mace Windu. Yes, I'm gonna be Avatar: The Last Airbender Aang. Like, and what are you gonna do about it? And what am I gonna do next? I'm probably gonna be Voldemort. No one's gonna stop me. No one's gonna stop me. Maybe I'll be One Punch Man. Okay? Maybe I'll be fucking Bob the Builder. He's also fucking bald. Okay? Who else? Caillou. Alright? I have the list goes on. You're not gonna stop me. Anyways, that's the first thing that I wanted to address. That's pretty deep. I don't want to go in really much further than that, but I just feel like it needs to be said. So, since we're on the topic of bullying, we can go through all the bullying I've ever experienced since I'm trauma dumping. I already went through the facial hair. I have also facial hair here. I wax. My parents literally, like, I used to wax my eyebrows once a week, like at the salon. And my parents were like, hey, this is kind of expensive, so we're gonna buy you a wax machine, which is the nicest thing they did. We went to Sally's, got me some, man, I think it's called Gigi. I don't know, that wax, you know, wax machine, heat it up, you could put in like the wax and you just do it. You do the thing. They bought me like most of the main stuff to get it started. And then when I started working at a young age, because I used to babysit since I was like 11, and that's around the time I started waxing my eyebrows. I used my money from babysitting to buy like more stuff for my waxing, which was really great. That helped me. And guess what those fucking boys thought of me after bullying me? They're like, holy shit, that's her. Holy shit, I didn't know she looked like that. Anyways, yeah, it could help a lot. So if you have kids that are in the any sort of ethnic group or have some sort of sorry, Pumpkin's pulling on my mouse. Any sort of ethnic group that's a little bit more hairier than the average whites, or let's say imbalance of some sorts, or you're just hairy, hey, try to support your kid, because being bullied at like 8 years old for being hairy is hard. And I know it's not good to maybe condone like that behavior by giving into the pressure of societal norms of not being hairy, but make sure you check on your kids and ask them how they're feeling if it does happen to them, because I feel like maybe if I didn't have hairy armpits, I wouldn't have gotten bullied so much. You know, like at 9 years old, like maybe if I didn't have hairy legs and I wouldn't have been bullied. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, you know, it's kind of crazy. Like, I know, like, now that I'm 27 and I'm old enough to have a kid, I would be like, why would a 7-year-old fucking shave their legs? Are you fucking insane? But living my life as a 7-year-old with hairy legs that got bullied relentlessly every day, because we lived in Florida. We wore shorts to school in our uniforms, and we would go to the gym, and I had kids from other classes that weren't even in my class bullying me about my hairy legs. That would have just made me feel so much better. So yeah, when I was in 5th grade, I started my waxing journey. My mom always told me not to touch my upper lip. She's like, don't do it. I had cousins that did it, and then they started shaving, and then it's like actually it's doubly and whatever. But listen, having a mustache and no unibrow, crazy combo. But I did rock it for a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I did listen to her. I was young, but at a certain point, I was like, hey, I need to do this for me. And it definitely was a confidence booster. I always got bullied for being too fat. As someone who grew up so skinny, I can't believe I got bullied for being too fat. It's unreal. I was always well fed, but I was never fat. In my head, I was fat. I still see myself as fat. Now I'm like, I'm not the biggest weight I've ever been in my life, but I'm kind of close to where I was. And I still don't see myself as fat, because I don't think I am. And it's hard to see yourself that way and realize like, hey, this is a healthy weight. Hey, maybe this is a little bit over what I should be, like, and I kind of am worried about, like, you know, this could cause other health issues. So I do have to start doing more at the gym. That's my own personal choice. I'm not here judging anybody's weights or sizes, but on my own personal health journey, I've went through a lot in my life. So as I mentioned in my last podcast, I have to get used to calling this a podcast. In my last podcast, I did mention I had stroke-like symptoms in January that led me to being unemployed to this day. So I can kind of lead my way into that. I got bullied for a lot of other things. I also had a gap tooth. I had surgery to remove the skin that was blocking my teeth from being closed. I also had braces twice. I had a bunch of oral surgeries to make my teeth straight, and I never smile anymore. That's my smile. Yeah, I never smile anymore because I used to get bullied for having a big smile. So I'm trying to learn to get back into smiling. Also, I'm not saying my face droops because I had a stroke, but my face has been numb so many times that I feel like my smile is always different. Like, this part of my face is lower than this part. That's another self-conscious thing I have. All right, so Honestly though, the bullying list could go on and on. I've literally been bullied for everything at this point. So I also gave up and just decided to not give a fuck. Last time I mentioned I got bullied for my pimples on stream. Yes, it happens a lot. It used to happen in middle school, and then I was put on birth control for over 10 years of my life. I started birth control at a pretty young age. I was like 14, not for any purpose other than having PCOS. Having PCOS has been a big struggle. It also caused me my biggest depression of my life from a young age. That I think this is part of healing my middle school year child, and this is what would help maybe talking about it. I don't know. I got diagnosed with PCOS because of the body hair, also because of irregular heavy periods and a lot of bad cramping. Went to endocrinologist, did some blood tests, found out my testosterone is double what a man's should be. Hey. I was, I can't even make a joke. I was doing some controversial stuff before it was controversial in America. I had hormone therapy treatment because of my birth control. Only because of the fact that they scared me into doing it. They said that it needed to be controlled because I could have cancer, I could get diabetes, I could become obese. I won't be able to have kids, by the way. It's almost impossible. And what else? Cancer, blah blah blah. Yeah, I think that's it. But that's a lot. That's a lot of heavy shit to hear at 14 years old. That was also after losing my grandmother. And I think even though my grandmother had a stroke at a young age, it's because when she was a kid, she had scarlet fever. She had a weakened heart from that, had heart problems, and then a doctor fucked up her medication with her heart medication because she hurt her back, and he crossed her medications without seeing if it was approved, and she had a stroke because of it. And it forever changed her life. She almost died many times, had to have open heart surgery. She had to have a pacemaker. She had valve replacements. She had her whole right side of her body was paralyzed. She had to walk with braces. She walked with a cane. She could barely speak, but when she did, it was in Italian. But she got her points across. Try not to cry. It's hard to talk about. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Anyway, she was a strong woman, and she always did everything with a smile on her face. Was always encouraging. And always was like, if you try, you try. Which meant, just try it. At least you tried it. And then you'll know if you tried it, if it's basically successful or not. But at least you tried it. Sorry. Try not to cry. Okay. Anyways, she's my one and only health inspiration, and she helped me go through some of the hardest times, even when she wasn't here with me, because of her positive energy, her kindness, and her fearlessness. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was muted. I don't want to cry. It's hard to talk about. It's something I think will help heal my inner child too, my middle school self, because that's when I lost her. But it's good to talk about her to keep her memory alive. And it still hurts like it was yesterday. She showed me it was good to have strength even when you were weak, even if it was mentally versus physical strength. And another thing is to never let your disabilities stop you from doing what you want to do, and don't let anybody limit you and tell you that you can't do something, even if they think it's impossible. As a stroke patient, she lived her life by herself, very independently. My mom would go there every day with us to try to make sure her medications were filled, because she was on bunches of medications. And my mom would bring her to doctor's appointments. She had doctor's appointments almost every day, if not multiple times a day. And she liked to enjoy her time in the garden and enjoy the birds sing and watch the flowers grow. She had lemon tree and enjoyed us grandkids. And she liked to cook. And she did, even with one arm, which was amazing. Anyway, she's my inspiration, especially in this journey that's a very, very hard one. And I know a lot of people are like, just streaming, like, you're just making a podcast. It's easy. You just press record, but it's a lot on you physically, mentally, emotionally. But it's not easy because this is a full-time job, and I was doing this while working. And even though I'm not working now, it feels like it's even harder because I'm trying to put like 200% in instead of 100%, because I really want this to go somewhere. And I feel like that's why I'm trying so many things and so many different sides of me, because I honestly, I just feel like I don't need to explain myself to anybody, and I don't know any way that it will help anyone but myself. But like, I feel like it could help other people with what I've been through, since I've had so many things that were hard in my life. And I always want to help people, and I feel like this is my way of helping people, even when I can't physically help someone. Anyways, getting back to my own health issues, with having my grandmother go through so many things, even though it's not a hereditary issue, my family history has had so many things that have been bad, and I've had so many family members die so young besides my grandmother that it hurts me to have lost them. But I'm blessed to have grown up with them and spent time with them while they were here. Because of all of that, I've always had some sort of like medical anxiety, and it's just so bad because I felt things be wrong with me and I was dismissed for it my whole life. And then I will see someone have something else happen to them and they were dismissed and then they died. And then I got to a certain point where I started advocating for myself because people weren't doing it for me. And I would go to doctors' offices and be like, there's something wrong with me. And they would be like, no, you're fine. That's it. And I feel like that's what happened to me a lot. And I had to put myself first. And instead of a doctor telling me no, I would go to a different doctor until those doctors would find something out. And if there was a dead end and there was still something wrong with me, I'm going to keep pushing, because if my mom didn't do that for my grandmother, she wouldn't even be alive for how long she was. She would have died that same night that she went when she had a stroke. When my mom was 13. Okay. Anyways, I had the PCOS diagnosis. I found out my testosterone was too high. They put me on a heavy birth control to help all of those things because I was scared. Number one, devastated. I couldn't have kids. I always wanted to be a mom my whole life. I raised my little brother. Not fully, but you know, I always helped my mom babysit. I always helped change his diaper. I always helped feed him, play with him, whatever. I started babysitting at a young age to make money because we were poor. I babysat all the neighbors' kids. I was 11 years old when I started babysitting, and I think I only made a few dollars an hour, but it was more money than I had to start. And I would use that little money to buy my waxing stuff. I invested in nail polishes, not the ones I have now, but you know, makeup, little things that made me happy, like skateboarding stuff. I used to skateboard, whatever I was enjoying at the time. I have a family history of obesity. I know it's not me, but it really runs deep in my family. Maybe it's because we eat good. Maybe it's because it's a serious genetic thing. I don't know. The whole family history thing is I don't know. Like every time I've said it to doctors, I'll be honest, like we had so many people in our family have strokes and heart attacks, but they all smoke cigarettes. Is it a hereditary thing, or is it just a thing that they like it happened because of the situation? I don't know. So that thing always made me nervous. Also the diabetes, them saying like, hey, you're imminent to have diabetes because you have PCOS, scared the fuck out of me. I had my great grandmother had diabetes, and she also, I think she died from something else, but she had problems with it. I had a cousin and aunt that had diabetes, and then they're on dialysis. My uncle right now, that's my grandpa's brother, he's 94. He's been on dialysis like 5 days a week because of his diabetes. I think it caused, what is it, his kidneys to fail. That's why you do dialysis. Like, it's just so many things. So I've always been super health conscious. I always tried to work out, make sure that I could do something like that. And then I'd always try to advocate for if there was something really wrong with me, I need to seek a doctor for help. I was super depressed for years, thinking I could not be able to have kids. I've seen other OBGYNs and doctors that said the same thing because of how bad my PCOS was and how unregulated my hormones were. So after being on birth control for over 10 years, I think mentally really fucks something up, but physically too, because at a certain point I had like hypoglycemia. I would get shaky if I didn't eat every few hours. I think it was truly messing with it, lowering my blood sugar too much. I would go to the doctors, tell them I'm super depressed, and go to therapy, and they're like, well, you're depressed because of all the bad shit that happened in your life and not because of the birth control. And then I had really bad anxiety, which I still do, just not as bad. My acne cleared up though. Hey, my periods didn't get lighter, but I got less cysts on my ovaries. Yeah, that's stuff that it helped. Maybe it helped my hormones. I don't know. Later on, more research came out about PCOS. You don't need to be on birth control. You can try to help it with exercise and diet, and that's what I've been trying my best to do since 2022. No, 2023. 2023 was a big year for me. 2023. Yeah, so I stopped taking it in 2023 and started to have stroke-like symptoms then. Also, don't know why at one point I had to have 4 birth controls at once because of how bad my hormones were. It's just something that I allowed these doctors to do because I was so scared of what could happen if I didn't, and not realizing how much birth control negatively impacted my life mentally and physically, because I didn't see all those other side effects that were happening. And every time I had a bad side effect and I would tell the doctor, they were just like, oh, well, that's because of something else. It's not because of birth control. Oh, okay. And then I just listened to them. All right, that's solved. How can we fix it? Different birth control? Yep. All right. Anyways, that was my birth control journey. That's my PCOS journey. Currently, back to my weight, because I've had back problems since 2019. That's another thing that's changed my life, impacted my life. I don't even know where to start. Well, just to finish up the weight thing, I haven't been able to exercise as much as I wanted to just because of my back issues. And that's a good summary of why I'm not the weight that I want to be. Am I okay with my appearance? Yes. Am I more self-conscious? Yes. Do a lot of my clothes not fit? Yes. Did I buy more clothes to make myself fit? Yes, because I'm going to make myself feel better. I'm not going to try to squeeze myself into clothes that don't fit me. I'm going to buy clothes size that actually fits me and feels good. Am I bigger than I want to be? Yeah, but it's okay. I can either get back to it or I can get comfortable in the new clothes I'm wearing. Not a big deal. But I do like, my goal is to get more healthy with working out if I can. But with my current health situation, it's hard and I can't. So that's my current dilemma. All right. 2019, I guess this kind of goes into my career change leading me to Twitch. And this also goes on with my health issues, getting fired from my job. So that's my little pre-story, because the ADHD is going to bounce off a couple walls. I'm talking a little bit slower because I got the fidget spinner, but I feel like if you guys need me to think faster, just put that 2 times speed. All right. Let me take a sip of water first. I need another sip. Hold on. Got cotton mouth a little bit. Took an edible before this. Not gonna lie. Okay. We got Pumpkin here. Hold on. Say hi, Pumpkin. You good girl. She's so cute. She's just a sleepy baby. She's ready to take her afternoon nap. Anyways. All right. So. Where do I start? In the beginning, when the earth was created. I don't know how to make the story coincide without starting from scratch. Maybe that's autism, maybe it's OCD, maybe it's ADHD. Could be all 3. I could go back and forth though. I'll just start in the beginning. Fuck it. Hey, what are you guys gonna do? Stop me? You can't fucking stop me, because guess what? We're not in real time. This isn't Twitch right now, actually, so you guys can't talk shit. Alright, so let's start. Rewind. Record scratch. I need to put a soundboard, guys. My mission, I'm gonna make a checklist. Soundboard and intro screen. Let me put that on my notes app. Hold on. Soundboard. And intro screen music. Okay. Anyways, okay, so you guys know that I moved to New York. I moved to New York when I turned 18 in the year 2016, after I graduated high school, literally 2 days later. So yes, I came here, started working and going to school full time. Yes, Pumpkin. She cried. I don't know if you guys heard that. But I started going to school full time and working full time, right? The working full time was me working 3 jobs and then 3 part-time jobs to make a full-time job, but I was making more than a full-time job would make, actually. And then I joined the fire department because I was like, hey, what if I can't mentally handle it? I was like telling you guys that last time, if you guys remember. If not, refer to podcast episode number 1. At some point I said that, I think. Anyways, I was like joined as a EMS, and that consumed a lot of my time. I could handle it. I loved doing it. I loved giving back to the community, but there was a lot of drama, which I did mention. I was going to deep dive in, but hey, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about my health issues. So I don't know if I'll have time for it. I only have like 10 more minutes left, I think, in the podcast, and I spent a lot of time of it already, so sorry. But hey, we got content for the next episode, so that's fine. We have something else to talk about. All right, so let's fast forward to the back issues. When I was going to school, sorry, the edible hit really hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm fighting for my life to get this story out. Oh, okay. 2016. 2016, all this happened, going to school, working full time. I wanted to be a doctor, like I said last time. Okay. So I'm going to coincide two stories at the same time. Me leading up to Twitch, and then me with this health issue, because they're both literally like this. I was majoring in biology and I wanted to be a cardiac surgeon, and I was like, hey, I can do this. All right. Going to school full time and working full time was hard, but I had a BC average, and then everyone's like, you can't be a doctor without A's. And I was like, hey, like, I can't do anything else. I had a conversation with my professor, and he told me to quit my job to focus on school full time if I actually wanted to be a doctor. Worst fucking advice I ever heard in my life. And I was like, so who's paying my bills then? And he's like, what? Like, I'm the first person in college that's ever had to work. Like, what the fuck? Or maybe he's just never heard of someone that I was going to like a private college. I don't think he knew of a poor person to ever go there. Maybe I was actually the first. I went there because I got a scholarship, and I got fucked over with my scholarship. And I'll tell you that in another podcast. So I'll add that to the notes app. Anyways, so fast forward, I wanted to do that. Then I started working at a daycare because I needed a more full-time stability with my school hours as well as working hours. I needed to get like a full income paycheck weekly, because I was like, I can't guess my paycheck because my 3 jobs that I worked at changed. I always worked 3 jobs, but I had like a couple of jobs I left and started over. Like I worked at a movie theaters, then I worked retail, I worked as a lifeguard, I worked in a grocery store. I babysat 3 different families' kids, and what others? I worked at a camp, but that was before that. But anyways, this is my resume. Y'all don't need to fucking know that shit, but this is just, it helps, I think, build up, because I always did babysitting since I was 11, so that kind of goes back to what I was saying before. I started working at a daycare, got the full-time job. I was making less money than what I was making before, but I needed that stability because of school. Because at the end of the day, I was like, hey, I want to be a doctor. I need to finish my schooling. I need to be able to get better grades, and doing that would have been getting one full-time job during these specific hours, and then me changing my college schedule to doing school at night, instead of doing school in the day and like having a job in between classes and after class and stuff. So I flipped my schedule around, did that, and then I worked at the daycare. So I went from 2017. I started working at the daycare, I think. I quit the fire department by then because I was only in for a year. 2016, 2017, 2017. Yeah, I think 2017 I started working at the daycare. And as I started working at the daycare, I was a daycare provider. I had to do licensing. So you had to take so many classes a year. I think it was 50 hours total a year that you had to take to be a daycare provider. So you can properly take care of kids, make sure that you had some signs of early childhood development issues, CPR certification, which I already had because of the fire department and for being a lifeguard, but it was like it's just still important anyways. I would still attend a class every year, even though I didn't have to, just so I can mentally refresh, because I just have anxiety, like health anxiety, and I'm just like, I need to make sure, even though I already knew hey, I was a medic. I just mentally was like, it's always good to learn. I've always wanted to learn. I always had that curiosity to learn, and that's something that I always did. Anyways, I got super into learning about my job, not only because I was like working with kids, but I wanted to do the best that I could in that job. And I was like, I need to know more. Like, I need to like actually learn more. Like, this is crazy. Like, I didn't know all this stuff about kids and seeing these signs. And if my brother, like if my mom knew some of these things about my brother, he could have got the help that he needed and didn't have to struggle so much in school. He didn't have to deal with all the issues that he did because he didn't get those services offered him at a young age. And in New York, they actually offer like free childcare as well as reduced price, but also they offer free services for like any kids with disabilities, especially that are in the poverty level. So a lot of these kids at the daycare were, and I was able to help out and get them help that they need so they can do speech therapy and physical therapy before they were even in preschool, because a lot of the early learning signs are after preschool, which is too late because these parents don't know these signs. And I feel like a lot of parents need to know some of this stuff that no one's ever taught unless you went to school. So at that point, I was already like on the way to get my associate's degree in regular college, but I started doing 50 hours a month or more in early childhood development learning in my own free time because New York State was paying for it because I worked at a daycare, so I could take unlimited classes as I wanted. And number two, I was like, maybe I should change my career path because I don't need to be a doctor of medicine. I could just like help kids with like being a doctor, like in speech therapy or occupational therapy or something along those lines. But that's what I was considering. But I was like, let me just finish my associate's degree first and then I'll figure it out. Because I was going to a community college. I was like, all right, whenever I graduate, then I'll figure it out. It's not nothing. I still want to be a doctor, but maybe not in the cardiac surgeon way. I always wanted to be a cardiac surgeon, but it's going to take so long to get there. It's over 14 years. And I was like, yeah, maybe this could be a different way. I can help people. So simultaneously, while going to school full-time, working full-time, I decided, hey, let me do an early childhood development associates. So I was working 7 days a week because I was doing my school at night for college. I was going to work Monday through Friday during the day, 9 to 5. And then on the weekends, I was taking the early childhood development classes with a bunch of mostly parents. They were all parents that had their own child daycares in New York and New York City and all parts of New York. And it was like a class to get the childhood development associates. You learn more about childhood development, and then you get certified for your daycare so you can teach classes like more educationally for kids and parents, which is nice. And it makes it look better if you open up your own daycare that you have that certification. So this, mind you, is probably 2018 by now when I was considering all this. And at 2018, because I transferred for the college situation, which is like in the next episode, I got screwed over and I transferred colleges from a private college to a community college to finish the associate's degree. And then I lost a lot of my credits, unfortunately. Who knew that would happen? Even though it's an accredited college, didn't make any sense. Or it actually was a university, or it is a private university. But I was behind in my schooling because of this. So now it was taking me 3 years to get my associates instead of 2. And I was really upset about it because I had like a 10-year plan in my life. I was supposed to get married and have kids and have a house and have so much money and whatever paid off by now. And well, my timeline was disrupted. Womp womp. Big fucking deal. I literally stressed myself out and didn't sleep over this stuff because I cared what other people were going to think from my fucking hometown, that I moved to New York and I fucking failed because I did not graduate college at the same time as them. What? What the fuck? Anyways, I graduated with my associate's degree around 2019, I think. No, actually, I didn't. No, 2020. Oh, okay. So what happened in 2019 was, this is what happened. I was still going for my associates. It got delayed. I had to drop out because I had started having back problems, non-related to working at the daycare and lifting kids. No one knows what's wrong with my back. I got diagnosed with 2 searing cysts, one in my thoracic spine, one in my C-spine. I also got diagnosed with neuropathy and a bunch of other stuff with chronic pain, numbness, weakness, a bunch of stuff. Yes, I can say it so casually now. Before, when I used to talk about it, I used to break down in tears. That is what stopped me from going to school. I had to drop out of school a few times, but I did finish my childhood development associates, and then I went back to school to finish my associate's degree. That was regular degree. By the time I finished my childhood development associates, I didn't want to be a daycare owner anymore, which is what I was thinking of doing. I was thinking about quitting school and just doing daycare owner, like, because they make pretty good money, open a couple daycares. But I just, at that point, I was like, yeah, I can't do this because of my back issue. The back issue just happened one day. I literally woke up like in January in 2019 and I was having stabbing pains down my back, down my legs, down my arms. I couldn't move without pain. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't walk. I was so weak. I needed help getting in and out of bed. I couldn't get myself dressed. I couldn't shower myself. I had so much weakness. Because I was paralyzed. I was temporarily paralyzed from the waist down. I couldn't feel. I was paralyzed in my left arm. It wasn't like full paralyzation that like my grandmother had with her stroke. I could still like lift my arm, but it was very weak and difficult, and I just had no strength to even close my hand sometimes or help myself get dressed. That was the hardest part of my life because it was embarrassing to be like an adult and needing help doing daily tasks. It broke my heart and soul because I was now feeling what my grandmother must have felt, but she felt even worse being a stroke patient and struggling to get dressed. The simplest task may take a few hours. That was hard. It just made me upset for her, what she went through, but upset for what I was going through, and I was angry and I was depressed, and I thought it was gonna last forever, and I'm so thankful it didn't. But I started using medical marijuana, CBD pills, CBD cream, and that's what helped me. I would not be even sitting here right now if it wasn't for that. Literally, like, people talk so much shit about weed, but it literally helped me. It helped me so much to function every day in society through pain. I was still in pain, but like nothing compared to what it was. I had to relearn how to walk 3 times. That was the hardest thing to do as an adult because physically you knew how to walk. You've been doing it your whole life. But mentally, not being able to feel your legs, like I couldn't. I had pain in my back shooting down my legs, even though I couldn't feel my legs. I don't know how to describe it, but it was so hard to do the littlest things, but I did it, and I got through it. Um, sorry, I don't want to cry again. But just talking about it it makes me remember all the shit that I tried to forget that I went through. Anyways. Let me breathe. Fuck. Sorry, I don't want to fucking cry. I don't want to cry. I wanted this podcast to be fun. All right, it's okay to cry. A lot of feelings, a lot of memories. Okay. All right. Anyways, medical marijuana helped me, and I'm a big advocate for it. That's also like why I am taking edibles before stream and podcasts and a lot of stuff I do. It's not just because I want to have a silly, goofy time. Sometimes I do. Hey, I'm gonna not lie about that. Sometimes life is hard mentally, and I just need something to take the edge off. But it helps me physically to be able to get out of bed, do those simple tasks, recover through physical therapy, walk again, be able to get back into the gym, physically do stuff for myself, cook again, because I love to cook. I couldn't cook for myself. I couldn't even get up to get my own food, put my food away, put my stuff in the dishwasher. Like, I couldn't bend down, couldn't tie my shoes. So it was really hard, but I got through it and I'm okay now. But it took so many years to be okay. Sorry, I don't mean to cry. When I was first going through this all, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life because I didn't know if I would have my life. People who have this condition have a shortened lifespan, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, I haven't lived my life yet, like, at all. I haven't traveled much. I haven't done all the things I want to do. Like, why is this happening to me? And I was scared. I don't want to die, like, especially this young. And I want to live a happy life. I want to be able to have kids and grandkids and have those beautiful moments and see the world and all those things I couldn't do. Like, be something, help people. Like, this can't be it. And instead of sitting there and feeling bad for myself and being depressed about all this and wondering if my next wrong move of bending over or picking up something heavy was going to set off the bomb in my spine that was going to make it snap to where I could die or have more problems. And instead of living my life like I was a ticking bomb, I started just living my life like it was the last day because I didn't know what was going to happen next. And I think doing that like helped me with my condition because I started to feel better mentally, and all of that mental pain turned into physical pain. I think it, like, being tense and stressed out about everything made my back tense, which would cause me more pain, and it'd make me mentally feel bad because then I was scared what was going to happen next. Some days I couldn't get out of bed physically, and some days I just didn't want to get out of bed mentally. But I got through it through help with my mom, some loved ones, and through God. Prayed so much. Like, well,
every day, like, what can I do? Give me guidance physically, like trying new things to help me with the pain, to help me mentally get over it. But just living my life like there might not be another day has really helped me. And I'm not saying that this is the best advice I could give, because it got me into a lot of financial debt that I don't regret, because I had some great experiences, and I don't think anyone will ever understand unless you really been there and know what it's like. But I being unsure of what's going to happen next for so long, I was doing a lot of things, and some things, yes, I do regret. Maybe I said some things to some people that I regret. Maybe I did some things that I regret. But those life experiences of going on a vacation I never went to, the places I traveled, the hikes I hiked, the people I've met, the friends that I've made, I don't regret that. And I'm happy I experienced it, and it opened me up to a whole new world of thinking mentally. And it's brought me so much more joy in my life, and it's helped me find my way to Twitch and all the people that have led me here to me talking to you guys. Even though I went through some horrible shit for so many years with so many things, not just that, but it's still led me to where I am today, on Twitch, and what career path I'm striving for right now. And I know I've wanted so many things in my life, but I feel like I wanted them in the time period being. After being in the daycare, I wanted to work early childhood development. I changed my career into psychology. I was going to go to help with occupational therapy or speech therapy. When this stuff happened with my back, I didn't even want to go to school because I didn't even know if I was going to live. Why would I waste my time doing that? I could be trying to do other things. Hold on a second. Sorry, I just wanted to blow my nose. I'm sorry. Anyways, I didn't want to go to school. When things started getting better for me, my mom was like, go back to school, like finish your degree, it's okay. And I did. And it was the hardest thing I did, because I'm battling my physical, what's going on, battling my mental, what's going on. And then I'm trying to think of a future that I don't know I can have. And at that point, I was like, well, I can't be a doctor. I can't physically do it. I can't be on my feet. Being a surgeon is out the window, even though I kept that as an option. Definitely can't be a marine biologist because I'm allergic to fish. And on top of that, shortened lifespan possibility and disability, multiple disabilities. And I can't physically do anything. Not only can't I be a mom because of my PCOS, but guess what? How can you bear childbirth if you can't even lift 10 pounds? Where are they going to put if you can do a C-section, where are they going to put the what's it called? Look, I forgot the name. Epidural in your spine, if that's where your cyst is. Sorry, that's my time, but I'm gonna keep going. Anyways, massive depression, and yes, I got out of it, and I started traveling and having great experiences that now I have credit card debt for that I don't care about, but I'm just gonna keep doing the things that make me happy, and I don't ever want to stop. And yes, the bad things that I went through, and I'm not saying that I have any regrets, even though I went through hard things, but those hard things got me to where I am today, and they wouldn't have got me to where I am today without me going through them. So even though they're very painful, I'm thankful for it, because even if I help one person, that my job is done. That would make the world to me. And I've had many people in my Twitch streams say that I've helped them, not just one person. And if this helps anyone in any way, I'm so happy to have done that for you guys. Anyways, after getting my bachelor's degree, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life because I wasn't sure I was going to make it this far. I was suicidal back before you never know. A suicidal person is like suicidal until they have the actual like the fear of death, and then it's like, wait a second, let me value and cherish my life. And I think that's where my brain mentality changed too, because I was like in middle school super suicidal, and then going to as an adult on the brink of this is like what my life could be, and I was like, oh my god, no, I'm not ready. No, what are you doing? No, wait, I didn't mean it all those times I said it. I didn't mean those things. So yeah, that in 2023 when I graduated with my bachelor's, I didn't want to. I was working full time. There's other stuff that happened between. I had to have ankle reconstruction surgery that restarted my depression again after my back was doing better. Hey, that's a different story for another time. Anyways, so I graduated. My mom encouraged me to keep going to school because I was going to quit the semester before I graduated because I was like mentally, I can't do this, love. That's when I got Pumpkin. That's when she really did save my life. I made it through the semester, and now I have this bachelor's degree in psychology, and I'm like, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I can do. What should I do? That's when I was like, hey, let me do nothing, figure it out, spend the summer off, vacation, travel, whatever I can do. And yeah, I didn't figure it out. not in that moment, because I was like, yeah, let me be a bartender. I told you guys that. Fast forward a month later, I started working at this environmental job that I was working at until I got fired. Fast forwarding to 2025. Hey, the ADHD may take you off track, but it will always steer you back to the right direction. So, okay. We fast forward to 2023. I started also working the environmental job. I think in July. I started Twitch streaming in June. And like I said, fast forward to December that year, I became affiliated. I was like, hey, maybe this is a career path. Okay. Well, fast forward, I get my PC because I'm just like gaining more confidence with looking at myself and putting out content and getting more viewers because I was upgrading equipment a little bit. Hey, I'm not saying, like I said, you don't need to have good equipment, but sometimes it kind of helps. Sorry, my nose ring was itchy. I was not like anyone knows. Chill. Sorry, let me stretch my back. Okay. Sorry if you hear my brother screaming too. He's in the other room gaming. Okay. We're breathing. Everything's fine. We start Twitch streaming, we become affiliated. Okay, upgrade equipment. That was like January 2024, I think, around there. March. I think it was between January and March 2024 was when I was starting upgrading a lot of my equipment. Then my 1 year anniversary of streaming came up, and I was like, I'm gonna go harder than I ever have. Then I was like still working at the environmental job. Everything was well. I was streaming at night, Monday through Friday. I made the schedule. I was sticking to it consistent. I started posting clips every single day on TikTok and YouTube Shorts on my other account. So I was like, you know what? All the research I'm doing, I want to be Twitch partner. How do I get there? More exposure. Okay, how do I get there? More clips. I was taking the clips, but I wasn't doing anything with it. I was posting it to my Twitch feed. I would get a lot more views from like the homepage suggested clips, but it wasn't like anything like it should. And I knew this is what I wanted to do at this point. My brain was like, no, this is actually what I want to do. I'm working at the environmental job until I make it big on Twitch, and then
I'll quit the job there. Then, you know, the money will line up. Hey, we're going to go from this type of money to this type of money. And I was like, this is my plan. I got it all here. All right. My YouTube growth started happening. I've had hundreds of thousands of people view my channel. I'm very thankful for that. I'm appreciative for my international viewers. All y'all guys around the world. What's up? I wish I spoke more languages. I know Spanish, Italian, Napolitan. I know some other dialects and languages within Spanish as well that I've learned. My last ex-boyfriend was Ecuadorian. I've dated some Puerto Ricans. I know some Dominican. I grew up in Florida. I know a lot of Mexican slang or dialect. Hey, I know a lot. Okay. Multicultural, baby. So I guess that also gives the vibe, I guess. I don't know why y'all showing up from other countries, but thank you guys. Thanks. I feel like I should put a crown on. I'm just like, it means the world to me, truly. And I'm glad that I can reach the world. Like, hey, what's up over there? What are you guys doing right now? What time is it? Hey, how'd you guys find me, actually? I do want to know. You guys can, like, those are rhetorical questions. You guys put it in the comments. Tell me what country you guys are watching this from. And why are you watching me? Or how did you find me? You don't have to explain yourselves. But it's kind of cool. Like, I just had some Russians come into my Twitch stream like within the past few weeks, and I was like, I'm gonna do a shot of tequila. Like, I don't, like, why not? I just get excited. It's cool. If you guys want to come to my Twitch streams, yo, tell me where you guys are from. I love to hear it. It excites me. It's kind of like I kind of want to do a game. Like, maybe I'll put it in the background. I think it would be nice to see if I can get every country around the world to see my Twitch stream. Okay. Or even just from my YouTube and TikTok, I can go through all my analytics, OCD it like crazy. I'm jobless. I could probably manage it in my time and figure it out. That's something I want to do. Anyways, I saw my viewership was growing and I was like, oh my God, like, this is like something I want to do. I want to be Twitch partner. This is all I want to do. I never thought anything other than Twitch partner. I thought, hey, this is my one goal. But I feel like now I think I should modify my goal to content creator. I don't want to be an influencer. There's nothing to influence. I just, like I said, I want to help people. I want to share my stories. I feel like my stories can help people and my Twitch streams can make you laugh. And there's going to be like a coincide maybe with my viewerships. I don't know. We're figuring it out. It's okay. We don't need to have anything set in stone. But yeah, goal was set on Twitch partner. I was like, all right, I missed TwitchCon this year. Next TwitchCon, I'm going to TwitchCon Europe. And I'm going to be Twitch partner by then. I'm making my goals, manifesting, I'm being positive. Nothing can stop me. Because the only thing that can stop me is myself. And that's my goal. So, by that time, it was probably, like I said, my 1-year anniversary of streaming around June last year. And by the time my affiliate anniversary came in December, I was like, this is it. I did like a 72-hour stream subathon. I know it was definitely 48 hours. I think I went to 72 hours. I'm not sure. And I was like, this has been crazy, but being able to stream this long, that's the goal. Full-time streamer during the day. Oh my God, this is amazing. Because I had some days off of work I took for my birthday and stuff. And so I was like looking up a bunch of ideas from the beginning at around mid-December to like beginning weeks of January. I was like, okay, how do I become a full-time streamer? I have better viewership during the day and I have more viewers, new community members, like more people are finding me globally. I have different time zones. I was like, how do I do this? How do I find a way to do streams during the day, work at night? Or how do I find a way to blow up in a good way, blow up my streams? How do I get more noticed online? And that's kind of the journey I'm still taking right now, and I'm still trying to figure out. I'll be honest. I haven't gotten there yet, but I have gotten a lot of improvements. My Instagram following has grown. I got that TikTok live approval because my TikTok audience has grown on both my TikTok's accounts. Which is, it's good. I have over 1,000 followers. I'm very thankful for everyone who's following me on all my platforms. Like, even if all y'all can't meet up at the same place at the Twitch stream, that's fine, because guess what? It's okay. I'm gonna be a content creator, not just a Twitch streamer. I'm not limiting myself. I changed it up. It's all right. I'm modifying for the times. It's okay. And by January this year, hey, what's up with January? Why do I always have my most life-changing unfortunate events in January? I need to like pray more in January, I think. I don't know. Okay, so in January this year, I woke up with my face numb, my throat numb, my left arm numb, having trouble swallowing. I freaked out. I called my neurologist because I didn't even mention all the shit that I went through with my back, but every 3 months I would have to get an MRI. I had EMG testing done many times and many x-rays, but I've probably had enough radiation for more than 10 people's lifetimes, I would say, with how much times I've been imaged. It's actually insane. Oh, and I did want to say this last time. For anyone who buys my merch, sees my intro, outro, BRB screens, I created it. That's my skeleton, baby girl. Hey, when all this stuff started happening in January, I was like, I'm gonna capitalize off of it. If I have to be in hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical debt, guess what? I'm gonna capitalize on it. So if anyone wants to support me by my merch, please go ahead. If you want to see my skeleton. I don't care if anyone thinks it's weird because it looks cyberpunk-esque to me, okay? So if you guys are like fans of cyberpunk and kind of weird shit, hey. And if you guys have any ideas, drop them in the comments because I will definitely add more merch. I really like the stickers. I have this hat. I have to lint roll it because of pumpkin, but this is also my favorite summertime hat. I'm not gonna pull it down all the way because I don't want to mess up my braids, but hey, we got the matching logo. Okay, it doesn't look so funny, but my braids are there and I don't want to ruin them because I'm actually gonna do a stream today. I have to wrap this up because I'm way over time again, and this is just gonna be my fucking thing, I guess, is over an hour podcast. Okay, my bad. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna capitalize on this. I don't care. So if I have to pay these hospital bills, at least I can have my merch. And listen, the prices are expensive, and I'm sorry, I did not make those prices. Fourth Wall has made those prices. Every time you guys buy the merch, it's actually, I'm only getting $1 or $2 from it. Believe it or not, because they are producing everything. I'm just giving them the images. It's okay. I'm not really profiting off of it because if anyone wears my merch proudly, hey, that's free advertisement for me. And if you guys like my cool designs, that just makes me happy in general. Like, that means the world to me. Anyways, my throat, I couldn't swallow, went to a neurologist immediately instead of the hospital because I was like, hey, I don't know what the fuck's happening. And he checked me out. I swallowed water, did a swallow test. He's like, okay, if this gets worse, go to the hospital or come back to see me in the office. Sorry, that's my alarm, bro. I gotta start streaming. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm trying to wrap this up. Anyways, so I also had to go to work that day. I had to call out. The next day, I woke up, it was worse. I was like, my whole arm is numb, my face is numb, my throat's numb. I'm like, every time I'm eating soup because I can't even like close my mouth properly and swallow properly. And then so I go to the emergency room. My mom takes me. They code stroked me immediately and was like, why didn't you come yesterday? You're clearly having a stroke right now. I forgot to mention, I had a headache pressing against here. It felt like someone's fist was like full pressure, like 5 pounds into the side of my head. And also I was getting dizzy spells. I think that was it. but that was all also happening, even though I'm just focusing on the numbness because that was just the scariest part, I think, out of it all. I never had that type of headache in my life. The lights didn't make it any better or worse. Medication did not make it any better or worse. After being in the hospital for 24 hours, they gave me a special kind of painkiller and it finally dulled the headache. Didn't make it better. Yeah, they gave me IV fluids, ran a bunch of tests, probably over $1 million of a workup. Blood tests. I mentioned MRIs, CT scan, x-rays. That was a whole fucking shit show. Number one, they figured out I wasn't having a stroke, but they wanted to make sure mind you, I was in the emergency room for like 12 hours while having stroke-like symptoms. What the fuck? Okay, what the fuck? I was in the hallway. And then they put me into it was like not like ICU, but it was like intensive care. It was like a priority, but like it's for where they put people like that had high risk surgeries too, so they can monitor me closely to get me out of the emergency room area. And the fucking, who was it? The neurologist they had was in surgery, so that also didn't help. And anyways, yeah, so they figured out I didn't have a stroke. They wanted to see if I had a blood clot or I was having an aneurysm or anything. Did a bunch of tests. Then when I went to get the MRIs done, they're like, this guy was literally talking to he's like, why are they doing to his coworker? He's like, why are we doing this whole workup to someone who thinks that who has a thoracic syrinx? They already know what's wrong with her. Just send her home. And then he's arguing with the other guy. I don't know what the other guy's saying. And he's like, oh, whatever. Just check to see if give her a pregnancy test. Make sure she's not pregnant. And then he came out and I was pissed because I was thinking, I can't believe he's telling, as a radiologist, what the doctor's orders should be and that he's going to refuse my MRIs because he thinks I'm not having a stroke right now. And then he's telling me, make sure she's not pregnant, like with an attitude. It's like, okay, yeah, I know they have to check if I'm not pregnant, but it's the way that he said it was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, why would you fucking say that? So the guy came out, and before he even had a moment to speak to me, I like jumped down his throat, and I was like, number one, I'm not pregnant. Number two, tell him he needs to fucking adjust his attitude because I've been in the hospital for over 12 hours, and they're doing all this testing to make sure I didn't have a stroke. Now, he's refusing to do my MRIs. I'm reporting him because that is malpractice. He cannot refuse my MRIs that the neurologist and everybody downstairs has been working on all day to get up here. And I've been waiting for everyone to let me in. And I've been waiting on a long line basically all fucking day to get these scans done. And this is what I mean by advocating for yourself. Because this guy was going to fucking deny me. What if I did have a stroke? Then I wouldn't be able to fucking find it because this piece of shit thought that I wasn't having one by assumption because I had back problems. Just because I have back problems doesn't mean it's the same thing. Mind you, this was happening because it was from my back, but they didn't discover that yet. And they should always go through all the proper timely treatments, options, and tests before assuming that, because a brain bleed is hard to recover from. Most people don't recover at all. Anyways, the guy was shocked, baffled. He apologized. It wasn't him that said it, was the other guy. I was pissed. I also was having anxiety because I am a little bit claustrophobic, being in tight spaces. Sorry, I know this is an hour and 30 minutes. I'm trying to wrap it up, but these stories are long, bro. And I just want to finish it. I don't want to wait till part 2 because I'm not going to remember the same train of thought. Maybe I will with the ADHD, but I'm going to try to wrap it up. But so mind you, this is all happening while my boss is asking me, hey, where are you? Are you coming back to work tomorrow? You already missed work for 2 days. And I'm trying to text back like, hey, I'm having stroke-like symptoms for the past 2 days. I'm still in the hospital and they're trying to figure out what's wrong. And I told him, like, my face went numb the day before and you're still trying to figure out if I'm going to come to work on Friday. No, bitch, I'm not coming to work on Friday because it started happening on a Wednesday from what I remember. Like, I'm not fucking coming back on Friday. I'm just having stroke-like symptoms. I ran out of water. Sorry. Anyways, thank God I fell asleep. I don't know how, with the pain in my head and the numbness freaking me out. And mind you, everything that's going on in my head is like, I'm fucking numb and my legs were paralyzed for like almost a year. And like, how the fuck am I gonna do this all over again? I can't do this again. I already relearned how to walk 3 times. How many times am I gonna fucking do this? Like, is this just gonna be my life? And I'm spiraling. I'm spiraling because I thought that my back has gotten to a place where I was okay. I was like, okay, I figured out what I can and can't do. I adjusted my life accordingly. The exercises I should be doing, my diet I should be having, what pain medications help me, what I can do in these situations, taking breaks, my job abilities, all these things, plus more. Like, that's how I adjusted to my life besides traveling and making my mental feel better. How can I adjust my life being disabled to make my physical daily life better? And it helped. Don't be scared of having a disability. Just try to figure out a way to help your disability. And don't be ableist, and don't let people be ableist towards you, because assistive devices help people, especially having disabilities, and that's what they're for. But I don't know why there's a big stigma against them and why people are ashamed of it. But it's important, because why make your life harder when there are things to help you make it easier, especially when it's already harder to do something. Anyways, I did all this testing, and I got the scans back, made the merch, okay? And that was later. But anyways, after that, I got out of the hospital because they're like, it's not a stroke, we went through everything, it's fine, but clearly it's your back. But it's in my neck, and like, they don't know what. Well, in my neck, I had a searing cyst that I think is burst, and that's what happened to all these symptoms. Now, with my condition, there's not enough research to find out, since it's a rare condition. There's not a lot of doctors, like, what certain symptoms are and if this could have happened. I did a bunch of research myself, and yes, someone who had searing cysts that burst could have these exact symptoms I was experiencing. Now, when I did my MRIs, they said it wasn't there. Then when I told them, hey, there was one there a couple years ago, they said, we don't have evidence of that. You're gonna tell me it wasn't there this whole time? Oh, so you're gonna tell me it wasn't there this whole time? Okay. So what options are we exploring now? I don't know. Let's go to every fucking doctor ever. And that's what I've been doing the past 8 months, and I still am, by the way. But that's a story for another time. To summarize me getting fired, after that, I was like, you know what? And I was kind of Twitch streaming in between this hospital visit and not working, because I was like, hey, I'm home now. Let me stream, update everybody. Because I was, streaming 5 days a week. And then I went to no streaming at all, even though it was a different schedule at night. So yeah, then I was thinking to myself, I can't go back to work with an arm like this, my face like this, my neck like this. How am I going to go back to work? And then I'm like, should I quit my job? I need to recover. The other thing is, should I make my own business? I've always wanted to make my own business. Should I go streaming full time? I don't know if I can go streaming full time and afford it. I don't understand what I can do, but all I know is I can't work anymore. How, like, not period, but like, I can't work like this. Like, how am I supposed to type reports all day if I can't feel my arm? If I have a lot of pain? What the fuck? Anyways, I had a bunch of doctors I need to follow up on, a bunch of surgeons I needed to see, bunch more tests I needed to do, and there was no way I could do it with my current work schedule. So what any reasonable person would do going through this, I went back to work. Of course. What? I need to fucking pay my bills, but why? Let's just go back to work. I went back to work, explained to my manager, hey, I need to talk to you guys about something. He said, hey, we're not here today because guess what? I think it was President's Day. everybody left except for me. I was the only one working in the office, and I was making up all my work that I missed those 3 days and extra work they were giving me because I was working the job of like 2 people with no fucking help, which is another story for another time. They were busting my balls, non-existent balls, to literally like fast forward how much work I had to catch up on that one Monday that it led into me finishing it on that Tuesday, the day I got fired. So he said that he said just to email him to tell him what's going on and that not to talk to him, wait tomorrow to talk to him in person. So I was like, all right. So I write him an email. I need to effectively, immediately, I need to change my schedule moving forward. I can start next week if you want. I need to work from, I think I said 8 to 4. I don't remember the exact time. No, not 8 to 4. 8 to 12. 8 to 12, Monday through Friday. Or I need to work from 4 to, I don't know how the fuck I wrote it, but I was like, I need to do part-time. I was like, I have to either split the day in the first 4 hours or split the day in the last 4 hours, effective immediately due to my health condition and concerns and whatever. Made it very professional, sounded all nice. I could read it to you guys one day. And then he got back to me saying like, thanks for the update. We're going to discuss it, talk to you about it tomorrow and make the schedule accordingly with the girl that was my coworker who also worked the same job as me, but we split the responsibilities, but I did more than her. And the next day she starts freaking out. She has a problem with me, by the way. I forgot to mention that. She was a cunt. And she starts freaking out and is like screaming in the back. I can hear her because the office has no fucking insulation. By the way, there's a roof leak and mold and it's a fucking laboratory. What the hell? And she's freaking out saying that, I don't know, like I shouldn't be like, whatever, part-time, I don't deserve it. She is also part-time, mind you, because she has kids and she doesn't take care of her kids. Her parents and in-laws do. Every day she leaves early to go pick up her kids at the bus stop to drop them off to her parents' house. Bitch, you're not even taking care of your kids. Your parents are. So why the fuck are you leaving early to like give them a fucking car ride like a taxi driver? Like you're just putting them to bed. And then you're making a big deal about leaving early every fucking day. And I can't leave early because I can't fucking feel my arm and face and neck right now. Anyways, I didn't say anything. I was like, what are they gonna do? Fire me? What are they gonna do? Fire me? That's illegal. Hey, that's very illegal. So, hey, they're gonna just have to comply because they have that Florida Medical, not Florida. Florida Medical Leave Act, FMLA. No, they do have that, but like I'm in New York. They have the New York Medical Leave, whatever. It's a state, it's a United States thing, I'm sure. Whatever. So guess what? They fired me. Guess what? The guy she complained to all the manager, the owner, this guy that she's close with that's a project manager that has nothing to do with the hiring and firing process, nor was he a manager in any way to me, fired me. Okay. By 12 o'clock, they called me to the back room and was like, hey, we gotta speak to you, which they've never put me in the meeting room, even when I deserved a raise. I also, by the way, I didn't get a raise and I worked there for almost 2 years. And the guy who got hired after me, less college experience, less work experience, was doing, not even 1 ounce of my job, got a $2.57 raise after working there for 2 months because he's a man. Okay. Not for anything else. Fuck that job, by the way. And everybody who worked there. Except for like one person, and you know who you are. So sorry. Shout out to Michael. He's the only one that made me sane at that job. And he helped me out in this situation a little bit, or it was just a kind person. So literally, he calls me and says, hey, this is just not working out. Like he was breaking up with me. And I said, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear you. And he said, yeah, we're just gonna have to fire you. And I was like, because I asked to go part-time because I'm having a stroke-like symptoms right now. And he's like, oh, no, not because of that. It has nothing to do with that. And I was like, so you guys are just firing me because it has something to do with what? And he goes, my performance. And I said, my performance, I said, I was backed up for 3 days worth of work, but I just finished that. And I did the stuff that the owner just piled onto my desk that was from today too. I just finished that too. And he's like, yeah, like it has nothing to do with that. It's because of like stuff in the past, you know, like, like, you asked, you couldn't complete tasks and you gave it to other people. And I was like, at that point, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, because in the past, when there was too much tasks on my desk, because 5 people with 5 different jobs were giving me stuff to do, even though I had my own stuff to do, I wouldn't do it. I got to a point where I was like, hey, I don't have enough fucking time in the day. I'm gonna be behind on those project reports, because I was working on project management for JFK, like for their construction job, which I wasn't getting paid for, by the way. And I was getting the lab samples in, and I was signing for all the lab samples, and then I was entering the chain of custody into the system, and I was creating project numbers, and then I was dropping it off in the lab, and then I was getting the lab results, and then I was typing the results, and then I was giving the results to the client, and then I was getting emails from new results that was from an outside lab when we would test stuff from other labs, and then I had to organize them in alphabetical and numeric order, and then I was also doing billing for 10 other projects, and then that's just the half of it. That's just the half of it, by the way. Yeah, so he's like, oh no. And by the way, when he said that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let this play through, because he's firing me. Light bulb. Ding. Someone added a light bulb. I was like, he's firing me, I'm getting unemployment. At that point, I didn't even argue. I was just like, to the whole conversation, because I'm just like, hey, if I got fired and I get unemployment, I could stream full time. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. And guess what, bitch? That's exactly what I did. Mic drop. So yeah, he fired me, and I was like, well, I'm still working. Like, this is me. I didn't want to make a big deal about it, but I had actually, like, my entire desk since working there for 2 years was filled with personal items. I had a Nezuko. I had physical therapy putty in like different solidness to help my hands, because I had weakness in my hands and my arms. I still not really do, but I still did at that time. Even though my life was adjusted, I was still having numbness and weakness. I had a whole drawer for snacks and lunch items, teas, because I was like doing so much stuff. I didn't even have time. I would eat while I was working. Sometimes I would get an hour break, but like sometimes I would eat while I was working because I was hungry and I couldn't wait, or I just needed more coffee and caffeine to keep going. Yeah, so literally I had that. Then I had like notes. I had a book this thick full of notes of all the jobs I've had to do, which I should do a show and tell. I have to find it though. I don't know if I threw it out. I don't think I did. I was like, I should keep this. Show you guys my OCD. All the crazy notes and like the highlighting and the color coding and shit. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I don't mean to keep rubbing my nose. Anyways, so I was like, I had so much stuff on my desk, and then I just started throwing things out because I was mad. Also, I made them buy me a keyboard and mouse. That was a gaming keyboard and mouse because I was typing so much it hurt my fingers, so I felt better. But I bought my own mouse pad, so I was like, I'm taking that back. I also bought a cup holder for like all my pens. Some of the pens I bought from home because I was like, their pens fucking suck, even though I told them. Like a bunch of stuff that was mine. Anyway, so I was like, I'm still working on stuff right now, so do you want me to finish what I'm doing? Because like, I don't think anyone's gonna do it and it needs to be done. And or do you want me to just leave right now? Because I'll just leave. And he's like, oh no, well, I guess if you're doing something right now, like he didn't know what to say. He's like, I guess if you're in the middle of doing something, you could finish it and then go. And I was like, all right. So I went to the kitchen and I grabbed like the giant white trash bags because I took out my own trash fucking every week. But yeah, I got a big trash bag and I just went back calmly. I wasn't crying, wasn't upset or anything. Heart was racing out of my chest though, because I was just like, all right, cool, I got fired. All right, can I just keep working here for another 30 minutes, please? He was probably like, okay. That was probably the craziest thing. And everybody, mind you, the office cleared out. Everybody knew I was getting fired. They were all whispering, probably listening in the other room. They all hid in someone else's office because they were waiting to see me blow up on camera, maybe flip a desk. I had never shown that type of rage, like, other than probably with my family, my last ex-boyfriend. Like, I don't have that type of rage in the workplace, even though like here I was like in that fucking zone. Even physically numb, couldn't do it. The desk was also probably 100 pounds, solid wood. Anyways, I wouldn't destruct any property. Like, I literally, like, I had the best outcome. I was like, I'm getting fired. I'm gonna get unemployment and I'm gonna switch stream full time. This is what I wanted. But at the same time, I was like, fuck, I have no health insurance and I have to see all these doctors. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna get unemployment. I have all these bills, like my student loans, like they're gonna garnish whatever I have and I don't have anything. Like, I have no savings, I have credit card debt. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? Also, mind you, I already booked TwitchCon tickets and my trip to Europe because I had the money. And I was like, how am I going to afford to go there? I can't cancel the tickets. They're non-refundable. Oh my God. But at the same time, I was like, but wait, maybe I can become Twitch partner before then and financially afford it. It's not a big deal. This is all that was going on in my head while I was packing up all the stuff on my desk in this white garbage bag. So half the stuff I was throwing out, half the stuff I was keeping, I was like, working with asbestos, and I was like, what if all this stuff I'm bringing home has asbestos? I don't want to bring home asbestos. So I was like throwing stuff away because that's my contamination OCD. Yeah, and then nobody was there. I said goodbye to nobody and I left peacefully. Literally not one manager, owner, nobody was in sight. Okay, left peacefully, didn't say goodbye to nobody, didn't leave a note, didn't say anything. It was the best fuck you I've ever given in my life because all they wanted to do was watch me burn. Guess what, bitch? You didn't see shit. Now, I drove my happy ass home, but I was in tears, believe it or not, even though I kind of had the best possible outcome. Went home crying to my mom like a baby. I'll admit it, I was upset because my whole world just came crashing down. I've never been fired in my life. I've been working jobs since I was 11. I've worked so many jobs, professional jobs, have built a career resume of a lifetime. I just got fired from a job. It's all over. It's all over. I'll never get a job again. And guess what? I haven't gotten a job since, actually. I can't pay my bills, like spiraling. But I think that's how I'm gonna leave it with you guys, since I'm already like almost 2 hours into this podcast that's only supposed to be an hour long. I'll leave it from me being fired and coming home upset. That's pretty much the end of the story. I did try to sue them and I couldn't because they have more money than me. When you work for a big company, I guess, even though I thought it was a small business, they have every lawyer in the New York State, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area on retainer, apparently, because it's conflict of interest for any of these lawyers to go to court for me. I found one lawyer to vouch for me, and she yelled at me saying I was dumb for telling them I needed this time off before getting a doctor's note, and that if I should have done things the right way and they fired me, it would have been different, but this is all hearsay. I was like, if you guys need a doctor's note, I'll give you a doctor's note after 2 weeks of calling all these lawyers and trying to get someone to sue them for this. Because I didn't get fired from like my performance got fired from clearly having these issues medically and asking for the time off. There's nothing been in my performance, and I got a performance raise. It was in my contract that if my performance was good after the first 6 months, I would get the extra $1 that they owed me. So it's not technically ever getting a raise if that's what they promised my pay was going to be when I got hired. But anyways, they never complained about my performance 6 months before that. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so I couldn't sue them. And so I was like, if you need a doctor's note, I'll get it for you. I'll call them right now. They'll write it for me. I've been under the neurologist's care since 2019. She got mad She literally got mad at me, was yelling at me. But the thing is about these lawyers, they'll say, leave a message with the paralegal or the receptionist. We'll call you back, see if you have a case. Then the lawyers would talk to me, tell me I don't have a case, conflict of issue. It's a conflict of interest. I should just drop it. In my best interest, I should drop it. Because I can't hire a lawyer that's good enough. That's my best interest. They're going to try to countersue me. Is that what it means? Okay. So, after having all this stress go on, the headache stops, the stroke-like symptoms start to die down. It's 2 weeks in. My unemployment got approved. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sue them because I'm just hurting my health and stress more, making my back issue worse, my pain worse, by getting myself worked up with this. What I'm going to do is focus on streaming full time. I was begging God to open doors for me and opportunities to work full time as a streamer. And guess what? He made a way for it to happen. Unfortunately, did I go through those symptoms and testing? Yes. But maybe that was the only way I could quit my job, and get paid for quitting my job, because I wasn't going to quit my job even though I had promised myself I would. So that's what I did. Now, my January to August 8-month journey, I think, is going to have to be for another podcast episode, because I have been doing this for almost 2 hours and I was supposed to start streaming right now. I'm supposed to start streaming right now. It's actually Friday, guys. it's Friday and I'm supposed to be streaming right now. And I haven't had lunch, so my tummy's grumbling and I need to go eat something, and then I'm going to try to fight Millennia, chat. I'm going to go back into Elden Ring. I haven't played in 2 months, maybe. I've played with Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, right? I beat him. Got that WWE grandpa under my belt. Clips on the page for the YouTube and TikTok. Actually, the clips haven't been posted yet, but the VOD's still on Twitch. But there's clips on Twitch probably. And then I was gonna fight the Elden Lord to become the Elden Lord or whatever it was, the last boss. But then one of my friends was like, "Hey, if you do that and you go accidentally into the DLC, you can't go back and fight Millennia." And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go fight her because I really want to fight her." But yeah, the water dance, that was the hardest thing. I started to master it a bit, had about 100 deaths, and I was like, "Hey, I'm never playing this game again." Broke my controller, got a new controller again, stopped playing. I've broken 8 controllers already since I started playing Elden Ring last year. Anyways, I'm gonna get into it today, and I'm gonna have some lunch. So thank you all so much for watching. And guess what? I saw all you guys who watched it. I know you. Hey, I know you guys are watching me. Can you guys please like the like button if you watched this video? And subscribe. What's up? All y'all watching, you didn't want us to subscribe? Don't forget to do that. Also, hey, down here, some of my socials. Go hit the follow button. Go check me out. I know I cried a bit today. We got into some serious shit, and I'm sorry for that. But I'm not at the same time, because I think maybe hearing that story may help someone. And I don't know in what way that could help, but maybe just opening up a conversation with other people may help, or maybe someone's going through something similar right now and this may help. I don't know. Maybe this is some sort of entertainment. Maybe this is a, hey, she made it through this hard time moment. I don't know. But please like and subscribe. Please support me on my other platforms in whatever way you can. And thank you to everyone who is. I truly can't thank you all enough. It means the world to me. And every day I wake up and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, right? Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if I should be doing this. But then those days I'm thinking that someone reaches out to me and thanks me for what I'm doing. And it literally, I feel like the Grinch in my heart is just growing. Because I'm just every time I'm doubtful for myself, I get another praise. And I'm just thankful for anyone who is supporting me. But yeah, if you can just do the little like button and subscribe. That would mean the world to me. Just to keep getting more viewership and reach more people, to help more people. And that's all I really have to say. And if you guys have anything to learn from it, just always advocate for yourself. Always believe in yourself. A quote from my grandma, you try, you try. Just always try. And if you tried and you failed, keep trying if you really want to achieve it. I've heard so many stories like that. Like, let's say Thomas Edison. I don't know if that's a bad example. He got canceled. Also J.K. Rowling, she's a bad example because she's a shitty person, but hey, she did try a bunch of times. And then Harry Potter, like if J.K. Rowling wasn't the person she was, I fucking love Harry Potter, dude. Like, but she's a good example of it. I'm trying to think, maybe LeBron James, he's a good success story. LeBron James. Yeah, like I can't really give a positive example because they've done bad things, I think. But hey, maybe I'm a good example. Maybe I'm the one. Hey, maybe when I make it, you all can be just like, Shrimp did it. She went through all these things and I can do it too. Even if I don't make it, and I hope that I do, my medical success story of my inspiration from my grandmother, maybe I can inspire someone else. And you're going through a hard time physically, mentally, emotionally, you can get through it. It's okay. It will be okay. Seek help. Seek your family. Seek out a therapist if you can. There's free services online for people. Just always try to get help. There's nothing to be shameful about that. That's the one thing I learned. And all the hardships I've dealt with, like I said, not being able to dress myself, not being able to shower myself, get out of bed myself, the humility in asking for help versus my own pain and anguish and just laying there. Just get over it. Get over it. It's okay. It's okay to have help. And so what that you have help? Just accept it. And don't be afraid to ask for it. And if people can't help you, find new people who can. But yes, try something new, even if you think it's unachievable, or even if someone has discouraged you from doing it. Don't let anybody stop you. Believe in yourself. And just keep trying. Just keep doing the best that you can do. All right. Megan is so cute right now. I don't know if I can take a picture of her. She opened her eyes. The thing is I'm trying to make a Patreon for you guys, and I was going to do like bonus episodes from the podcast because I'm an 18 plus channel. They won't let me post videos without a link. So I'm either like going to post it publicly and then have the link to the YouTube, or post it privately and then the link to the YouTube of videos and stuff. I'm still trying to figure that out right now. So I know I promised you guys a Patreon. When I get the Patreon up, I will let you guys know. I think that will be moving forward. Hopefully I can do it this week. I'm trying to figure it out still. But yes, that is all, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm so sorry. I thought this would be a little bit funnier this time, but I've just been through so much, and I do apologize for crying, and I tried to hide it from you guys, and then I just tried to speak through the tears. So I'm sorry, but I said what I needed to be said, and I feel better, and I hope it helps other people feel better. Okay, have a great day. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the Twitch stream. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching again. I appreciate your love and support always. Have a great night. Bye.